They're standing up and doing chairs. So you wear a hat and a ball.
Speaking of which, my cat is in there.
Yeah, we had 38 people last week. We're going to be lucky to have 50 people.
Was it snowing last week? Did it snow last week?
Yes, it snowed on Saturday.
So when was it? When was service canceled? Was that the week before?
30th of when we got that 8 inches. And that was because the person doing the service was coming from the bridge was coming. Plus we had tested our snow plowing. And she's been excellent.
They did well this morning. And they still sit in the back seats. Back pews and all that.
I have a last minute announcement. The children's pageant is next.
For the service. I think I remember that 20 minutes.
I don't know. Lori said you had a slip and told you to write it down on the extra slip that you had. What?
I have
Thank you. RE pageant. Service next week is the RE pageant.
Good morning, John. How are you?
How are you? Good to see you. Did you get my book
Message?
message?
I did.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Still in there.
It's all in there. Okay, good. Nice. Perfect.
It's even got your name.
Huh?
It's even got your name.
Wow.
Right.
Good morning. Good morning. No. Good morning. My name is John DeGrieve. I serve this congregation as treasurer and chairman of the religious services team. I'm also co-leading this service today as worship associate with John D. Taeye. I've been out of this position for a few months because I've had my second total knee replacement this year, one in February and one in September, but I'm standing on both legs, crutch-free. Throughout the year, I've tried to celebrate birthdays 2 months at a time, and since this is December, we still have 2 months to acknowledge. So does anybody have a November birthday? What date?
14th.
14th.
Zoe's was the 5th.
Okay. How about December? What date?
The 5th. And I turned the golden age of 65.
You're just a kid. It was Joe Machenko's birthday yesterday, if you see him. I don't know if he's celebrating it, but he had one. Anyway, let's celebrate by singing Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. I'd like to take this time to introduce to you Mr. John D. Taeye. John D. Taeye grew up in Davenport as the fourth of 6 children. His older sister is Connie Ganazzi, a former member of UUCQC. John earned his political science degree from St. Ambrose University and a Master of Divinity degree from Wesley Theological Seminary in Washington, D.C., which is all where Michelle, our pastor, studied. Most of his professional career took place in Washington, D.C. area, specifically the 20009 zip code, known for its racial, cultural, and economic diversity. He holds full fellowship with the Unitarian Universalist Association. In other words, he's a minister with UUA. From 1987 to 2000, John served at All Souls Church, Unitarian Church in Washington, D.C., focusing on pastoral care and community organizing. After leaving parish ministry, he maintained his commitment to the community, organizing a nonprofit sector and local government into Washington, working with young people and families affected by various social service systems. In 2017, John returned to Iowa to help Connie care for their aging mother and to take a little bit more active role in the family-owned farm near Fairfield, Iowa. He married Stephen Miller in 1989, but sadly, Stephen passed away in 2006 due to complications related to AIDS. Currently, John is working full-time as the produce clerk at Hy-Vee on Utica Ridge. You might see him there with his smiley face, and is involved with several social justice movements in the Quad Cities. His dream is to build a strong local food system that connects local growers, processors, distributors, and large food retail companies like Hy-Vee. So, welcome, John, and welcome to this special place. At the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Quad Cities, we welcome all people into our community of whatever age, race, class, ethnicity, physical ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or religious background. We especially welcome those who are visiting with us for the first time. We invite you to join us downstairs after the service for coffee and snacks and conversation. Thank you for being with us this morning. You're on. Precious Lord. Precious Lord, you hold my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks. Let us take a moment to quiet our hearts and minds in this safe space, our bomb shelter for the morning. May the silence fill my heart with compassion for myself. May the silence fill my heart with compassion for friends and family who may be suffering this morning. May the silence fill my heart with compassion for beings all over the world who are in bomb shelters, who are sheltering in place, living in fear for their lives, especially in Providence, Rhode Island, and Sydney, Australia, and Gaza, and Ukraine. May the silence transform the misconceptions I hold about myself and the world. May the silence help me recognize that the boundlessness of the reality that surrounds us each day in this brilliant blue sky and the shining off this wonderful fresh snow. By consistently listening in silence, we can allow the grief of our times to wash over us. And then may we be clear-eyed and ready to act with the conviction that are required in these challenging times. Amen. Come, let us worship together. There's John. As John lights our chalice, let's recite the unison reading written by Pat Lichty entitled We Gather, which appears in your order of service and on the display. We gather. We bring our sorrows, our disappointments, our failures. We gather for healing, for laughter, and to rejoice. We gather to find new ways of loving, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. We gather. Yes, we gather, for it is in gathering that we find our hope. Please rise in body or spirit for our opening song, number 1060 in the Teal hymnal, as we sing of hope and joy.
Corey's going to play it through once so you know what the melody is.
Stand up.
We sing of hope and joy today. Some will lonely anguish and despair. How can lift our voices in this way? Thank you for your noble attempt. Please remain standing. In the spirit of love and fellowship, let us acknowledge one another by briefly greeting those around us, especially those that we do not know. Please mingle. You're here.
This morning's first reading is from Stephen Charleston's book, We Survived the End of the World, Lessons from Native America on Apocalypse and Hope. It's become my Bible over the last few months. I really enjoy reading it, lots to learn from Native American prophets and the way they have survived their apocalypse for centuries now. Hope makes room for love in the world. We can all share it. We can all believe it in it, even if we're radically different in every other way. We no longer need to fear our differences because we have common ground. We can hope together. Therefore, hope liberates us. It frees us from the fear of the other. It opens our eyes to see love all around us. It unites us and breaks our isolation. When we decide to embrace hope, when we choose to make that our goal and our message, we release a flow of energy that cannot be overcome. Hope is a light that darkness can never contain.
Good morning. I'm Ann Harrington, a member of the Pastoral Care Team. As we gather today, we pause to reflect on what lies in our hearts. In this time of sharing, we take a moment to recognize our personal joys and sorrows. In this time of sharing, we take a moment to recognize the joys and sorrows and to read from the book of joys and sorrows, those personal life events you have chosen to share with us. We have a couple of joys today from Lori McCullum, and I offer this as well. Thank you to the folks who helped hang the greens last Sunday. It was kind of a desperate call, but we did get some of it done. The rest will follow. Also from Marcy, for the Riverbend Bell concert on Friday, and our neighbors who have cleared my driveway again and again. Do we have any joys online or sorrows?
We have one joy. Joy for today. It's a blessing to be able to watch church church online. It's been very cold outside. From Ashley Price.
Ashley Price says, the joy to be able to watch the service online because it's very cold outside. I'm sure there are others who agree with that. And we have no sorrows. That's a good thing. But for what has been shared and for what remains in the quiet sanctuary of our hearts, we are grateful. Let us become aware of the energy that brings us together as we share a time of silent meditation. May we open our minds and hearts to a place of quiet, to a silent prayer for the healing of pain and the comfort of love. Following our quiet meditation, we will enter a time of musical meditation during which you are invited to come forward and light a candle. May we discover a sense of peace and fulfillment in the quiet, in the music, and in the light. That's not in the script.
This congregation is a theologically diverse religious community with membership open to all who are in accord with our values, mission, and vision. Our congregation is entirely governed through the democratic process. One of the privileges of our free church tradition is to provide all of the financial support for our many different ministries from among ourselves. Generosity, therefore, is one of the spiritual values that we recognize as central to our personal and our institutional well-being. This month's plates offering will go towards staff bonuses. We invite you now to participate in the blessing of giving as the ushers come among you to accept the gifts of the congregation. Please be as generous as you are able. For all the gifts of time and treasure that you give this congregation, we are sincerely thankful. Our second reading today is from Thich Nhat Hanh, from his book, Peace in Every Step. It's entitled Hope as an Obstacle. Western civilization places so much emphasis on the idea of hope that we sacrifice the present moment. Hope is for the future. It cannot help us discover joy or peace or enlightenment in the present moment. Many religions are based on the notion of hope, and this teaching about refraining from hope may create a strong reaction. But the shock can bring about something important. I do not mean that you should not have hope, but that hope is not enough. Hope can create an obstacle for you if you dwell in the energy of hope. You will not bring yourself back entirely into the present moment. If you rechannel those energies into being aware of what is going on in the present moment, you will be able to make a breakthrough and discover joy and peace right here in the present moment, inside yourself and all around you.
I finished this reflection at about 8:30 this morning, so I didn't get a chance to print it out. So I'm going to read it from my phone, if that's okay. But I wanted to just thank John for the introduction and for singing with me this morning with Precious Lord. One thing I didn't put in that introduction when I sent it to John is my path to ministry really started here in 1984. I graduated from Ambrose in 1983. It was called St. Ambrose College back then. But I really, I felt the call to priesthood for a long time and consulted with some of the priests there about seminary, but said, you know, I I do have this thing that I'm gay, and I'm not sure how that's going to be compatible with the Catholic seminary experience. And one of the priests, in all humility, said, well, maybe you should visit the Unitarian Universalist congregation and meet with Alan Egley. And I did. And he couldn't be more welcoming, more encouraging, more inspiring. He really reinforced that call that I had felt for a long time. And so this in many ways is my spiritual home, although I haven't been here for a long time. It does feel like home, and I think of Alan every time I come here. This notion of bomb shelter that I keep referring to this morning feels really real, especially this morning after what happened yesterday in Providence and Sydney. But it's been ongoing for a lot of us who are feeling like there's only a certain number of spaces left where we can really feel safe and away from everything that's going on around us. And it really feels like this is a place where we can really be authentic with each other more than ever. And that's why the words bomb shelter jumped out at me when I was reading Charleston's book. He wrote, in writing about the Hopi tribe, the Hopi create community not out of fear, but out of dreams. Human aspiration, human imagination is the cornerstone of their invitation to us. We need a clear focal point, greater than our own sense of the apocalypse of the moment. We cannot stay in the bomb shelter together forever. At some point, we are going to need to emerge into the clear light of day. What will hold us together then? If we are spiritual explorers, we need one another for the perilous journey to come. That we need a transcendent vision of life to hold us together, a commitment to life that is unsurpassable. I hope what I have to say here and what we've done so far does not get in the way of what brought you out on a cold, wintry day. This time together is really about you and your own journeys, and John and I are just sort of tagging along, hoping that what we talk about and what we sing about only encourages you and inspires you more to go deeper into whatever brought you to this space this morning. Bomb shelters. That's a scary image to think about. I think about so many people in the world today seeking real shelter in Gaza, Israel, Ukraine, all over the world. This morning's New York Times had an amazing picture of a Brown University student standing behind pulled back curtains in his apartment or classroom. I'm not sure where he was, but he was pulling back these curtains as he was watching the police and these armored vehicles roll down the streets of Providence. For that moment, that space was his bomb shelter. I'm reminded of the line from our opening hymn, a hymn with great lyrics, a little hard to sing. And Gates warned us about that, by the way. But we did well. But here I want to remind you of those two first verses. As we sing of hope today, Some only know anguish and despair. How can we lift our voices in this way while some have pain and misery to spare? If a crumbling world we would renew, we must sing no ordinary song. Peals from a noisy gong will never do. In every breath, compassion must belong. A great image of a bomb shelter is a movie, a 1942 World War II movie, Mrs. Miniver, with Greer Garson and Walter Pidgeon. How many remember this scene? Mrs. Miniver is reading Alice in Wonderland to her children while the whizzing sounds of bombs were dropping all around them, destroying everything that they had built in this tiny village in Britain. And while she was there calming her two youngest children, she was also aware that her older son, who was flying a similar plane for the Royal Air Force of Britain, may be dropping bombs on a very similar German village. And a German mother may have been comforting her children. When people feel disconnected and inconsequential, they stop believing the future can improve or that they have any meaningful role in improving it. The impact reaches far beyond our mood. It touches our identity, health, and our sense of purpose. Everything in the outside world right now seems heavy, so disconnected. We're exhausted, we're fearful, we're stressed. Does anything matter anymore? Do I matter? Is there anything that I can do that will make a difference? As these and other feelings flood our hearts and our minds, we seek protection and comfort. We construct our own bomb shelter to keep us safe from the insanity of the world. I wonder if this space here is your bomb shelter. Or maybe you have created a space in your own home that's become your bomb shelter. They come in different forms, these bomb shelters. They are physical spaces like this, a space where we can intentionally create meaning, solace, and strength. Our first reading describes this type of space. We no longer need to fear our differences because we have a common ground. We can hope together, a hope that liberates us. It frees us from our fear of others. It opens our eyes to see all around us. It unites us and breaks our isolation. Our second reading describes another type of bomb shelter, and I'm so glad that John found it. I want to read it again. Western civilization places so much emphasis on the idea of hope that we might sacrifice the present moment. Hope is for the future. I do not mean that you should not have hope, but that hope is not enough. Hope can create an obstacle for you. And if you dwell in the energy of hope, you will not bring yourself back entirely into the present moment. if you rechannel those energies into being aware of what is going on in the present moment, you will be able to make a breakthrough and discover joy and peace right in the present moment, inside of yourself and all around you. The reading reminds me of what I call the hope to nope phenomenon. It speaks to how many of us may have embraced a particular presidential campaign in 2008 based on hope. And now some of us may be carrying very similar looking signs with the word nope. How astonishing it is how quickly the hope we experienced just a few years ago has faded into a disheartening nope. What if we allowed ourselves to mistake a presidential campaign and political promises based on hope as our bomb shelter? How did we let a presidential campaign become our bomb shelter? Thinking it would protect us from the internal work that needs to be done. Thinking it would protect us from the internal work of healing that we need to do as individuals and on the community level. Instead, it jump-started us right over all of that work into policies and programs that was meant to create a greater hope. Now it seems that even more than in 2008, we need to do the work. Remember this line from our opening hymn: "Sing of joy while hammering each nail. Sing of hope while pulling every weed. So shall we sing together and prevail. May every alleluia bear a seed." That's the work that I do as a produce clerk at Hy-Vee. Every apple I stack, every avocado I pull off the shelf, every banana, I'm hammering each nail. I'm pulling every weed. I'm hoping that the produce that we put on those shelves will bear a seed of something new for the families and kids especially that benefit from all that wonderful produce at Hy-Vee on Utica Ridge, where there's a smile on every aisle. Little commercial there. I am reminded of someone saying, Thich Nhat Hanh dedicated his life to ending the Vietnam War, but he failed. He did not end the Vietnam War. But he did succeed in ending the war within himself. And it is in those lessons and practices that he has left for us, and the reading that he left for us this morning, to pay attention not as much to the future, but to the present moment that we have within this moment, that can bring an end to the suffering within us, among our friends and family, and all around the world. Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "There is no way to peace. Peace is the way." And may I suggest peace, finding internal peace in our everyday lives, may be a way to sustaining hope. The bomb shelters can only protect for a short while, but we can carry the courage, the safety, the love we experience in this place, in this bomb shelter, into our world. The interactions that we have with our friends and families and coworkers and strangers. This space can be our bomb shelter. What we do here, what we feel here, the words we sing and the prayers that we pray, the tears we shed and the laughs that we share, how we touch and hold each other here, how we listen here. Let all these practices, may we embody these practices and carry them into the world. Amen.
Thank you, John. Now please rise in body and or spirit for our closing song number 144 in the gray hymnal, Now is the Time Approaching, and Corey will play it through once and then we'll sing it. The words are on the screen.
As John extinguishes our chalice, let us join together in the unison reading which appears in your order of service and on the display. Go from this place, knowing that hope is not an certainty, but rather a choice. When the world offers you despair, choose possibility. When cynicism seems reasonable, choose engagement. May our hope be grounded in love and expressed through action.
and
may we return here when we need to find the courage to choose again.
please be seated. We have a few announcements today. One from Dan Meaden, that there is a homeless memorial service Thursday, December 18th at 5 to 6:30 p.m. at Zion South Stairs outside. And also next week's service is the RE Children's Pageant, and you're all invited to enjoy the kids performing whatever they're performing. And I'd like to take a special thanks to thank Corey Kendrick over here who took Gates' place away. His flexibility and willingness to go with it, I appreciate. Finally, let me draw your attention to any additional announcements printed on the back of your order of service. If you have an announcement for Sunday service, please send it in to office@uucqc.org by noon on Thursday before the service, or bring up a piece of paper on Sunday morning and hand it to the person who reads it. Yes,
Can I just make one announcement before everybody leaves?
I don't think so.
No, thank you. I'd just like everybody to look at our piano right now and look at the side of it and how it's reflecting the light from here in a rainbow color. There are people that see that. I just want to share that with you because it's just beautiful.
He played over the rainbow. How appropriate.
These closing words are from Stephen Charleston. The roots of fear run deep. The hope we must embrace must run just as deep. No matter what happens, we must keep dancing, hand in hand, join in the circle of equality, constantly moving in the slow rotation of justice and prayer. Go in peace. Please be seated for the postlude.